Thank you, guys. Hi, welcome to the Whispering Hall live show. This is the book we are discussing today. So grab yourself a snack and a drink to make sure you're comfy tonight while we discuss this book. I'm very excited to discuss this all with you. As usual, we will start spoiler-free first, and then we'll get into spoilers. First, we'll talk about atmosphere, then characters, and then plot. And as soon as we hit plot, usually we turn into spoilers, because plot is really hard without spoilers, in case you didn't know yet. So, I'm very curious to see how you all rated it. I feel like most of you liked it. I have seen a lot of you read it. And a lot of you have read it this weekend together, which I had a bit of FOMO of. So maybe for the next book, we should do a reading challenge weekend, and then I'll read it in the same weekend and then do the live show. But then again, I'm afraid that we have discussed everything already in that day. Let's start a poll. What did you rate The Whispering Halls? 1 star, 2 star, 3 star, 4 stars. Right, do I only have 4 options? That's... Alright, then you no longer have the option to give it under 2 stars, guys. I'm so sorry, but apparently I can only give you 4 options to choose from. So here's the poll. Can I not? Thank you. Hello, Kate. Welcome in. Larissa, welcome. Hello, Barbara. Hello, Elena. Ewald, welcome. I can't hear you. Yeah, I was muted. I put it on for the mushrooms, and then I forgot. And I very enthusiastically started my intro. So, yeah. Thanks. This was the comment I saw, and I was like, oh, this is how long it took me. I got there, yeah. I get it. That was me, that was not you. There it is. Hello. Hello, Ifka. Welcome. Judith, welcome in. A book club weekend, right? Should we make it happen? But then I feel like, because if it's gonna be a weekend, I wanna make a bingo. And then one of the prompts has to be middle grade, because this is a middle grade book club, which we all will fulfill then by reading the same book. But I feel like a cozy book club weekend would be great. The next book arriving tomorrow for me? Yes, I have it here. I have it. You want to see it? This is how it looks. I think this book has the best title. Ghost Story Society. And I was like, yeah. That is what I should name one of a club. Yes, we should do that, but then we can't tell what to think about each other. Yeah, that's gonna be the hardest for me, because I'm not good at keeping secrets. And I'm so nosy, right? So I keep asking, do you like it? Do you like it? 4 stars. Nice, nice, nice. Gave it 4.5. Nice, nice. 4.5 stars for Ewell too. I almost got 3. Oh no. Oh yeah, Judith has salt, people. She is bringing salt tonight. Which, I'm very curious what the salt is about. So let's see. I'm also thinking between 3 and 4, but no specific reason. Yeah, but I kind of feel that for you. Honestly, 3 for a middle grade from your side is good. I'll take it. 5 stars for me. Same, Kate. Kate and I once again twinned and gave this book the same rating. Yeah. I like that each character had different characteristics and the spooky vibes were perfect. Yeah. Yeah. Phill hikes and spooky vibes. He does that so well. So I do think we have a lot to talk about in atmosphere wise, because I think that is where he shines personally, for me at least. That sounds so much fun. It's always fun to read them. Yeah, I feel like it's gonna be so cozy if we all sprint together all day and read the damn book. I think that's gonna be so good. I'm up for cozy book club. Yeah, we need to do it. I have to talk to Barbara about it because I don't want to intervene with her challenge weekend unless she likes to do it together and we're making it a challenge book club weekend. I'm totally up for it, but I don't want to intervene her stuff, right? I don't want to take it away. 4 stars, nice. That story is hard not to tell what we think about. I find that so hard because I know if I'm gonna read it with you all and it's gonna be a buddy read, I'm going to be like, "Are you at this scene? Have you read this? Page 5. have you seen a pinch of salt?" Well, somebody needs to do it, and I'm not going to, Judith. So please do it. Please, will you take the responsibility of bringing the salt today? I gave it 4, really liked it, but not quite 5 stars. Hopefully the next one. Oh, that would be good. Yeah, bring it on, Judith. Just prepare for a lot of why from me. I did a lot of Asmir as well. He masters that for sure. Yeah, I think. Yeah, you could totally combine it if that would. Yeah, we'll talk about it on Discord. No problem. 83% of you gave it 4 stars, and then 70% gave it 5 stars. I'm very happy. I'm extremely happy with that number. I rarely even saw what books I am currently reading, so keeping it secret is easy for me. Yeah, you can do that pretty well, Ewald. I'm not that. I can't do that. I'm terrible at it. I'm sorry. I try though. I try. So let's talk about what Phill Hikes does best. Atmosphere. He does this in every single book I've read from him so far. I don't know. I feel like he really has a way of setting the scene. He is descriptive, but not overly flowery, if that makes sense. If this is flowery writing, I love flowery writing. He does that. He gives me exactly enough what I want. He gives me exactly enough shush, if that makes sense. Like, not per se things you need to know, but it will definitely give you that feeling. He does that so well. But if you do too much of that, it's going to be annoying. But I think he's... I'm trying to find an example, but for some... That's the worst thing. I flew through this. I could not stop reading it. So I didn't tap it, which was not helpful for this live show, is it? But... And he does leave things to the imagination too. It's not all blocked in. I also feel like what helped to the atmosphere, except for his descriptive writing, right, was that the adults, or at least one adult, was involved. Let me move you a bit closer. at least one of the adults was involved. And the adults were pretty spooked. And I think that is helpful with this, right? It's not just kids being scared, but it's like the adults freaked out too. I rarely. Oh no, I did. That is. I got that. Where is. Oh, they jumped. The atmosphere is so. Yeah, it's. I gave 5 stars for the atmosphere alone. The atmosphere is always really good. You do get the chilly fall vibes, even when it's summer. Yeah. This was not the best time to read it, but because of the release date of Impossible Creatures, this had to be this way. I really wanted to put this in fall, but the second book of Impossible Creatures coming out in November was like, yeah, then we have to do that. We can't do it sooner. Also, I love the misty bits, just like there were a lot of misty bits, but also the gothic elements of the school itself, obviously, as well as the cemetery or the crypt. I love a good crypt, and then there were a lot of good. Obviously, the school was in a very old money mansion. And I just really like old money mansion vibes because the houses are always creepy. There's this gothic futures in them, and the draft that they talk about in the castle, that's what's making them feel chill all the time. That helps. It's the little things. The atmosphere was really good, yeah. And the school building, I would love to see it for real if it was real. Yeah. If they would make this out of movies, I would watch it. Please. Somebody. Go check out these books. And make a movie out of them. I think this would do really well as a movie. I like how the teacher took them seriously. Yes, me too. I definitely like that this is not the adults don't listen to us, so we find it out as children and conquer the world on our own. I really liked this dimension, but it adds to the creepiness. Outside, the wind rustled through the trees. A cold slap of running footsteps echoed outside in the corridor. It's like 2 sentences, but immediately I'm like, yes, that's atmosphere for me. I don't know. He does this so well. But I'm curious. Because I was a bit conflicted about this. Have you guys read Evelyn Jones? Which is by the same author. Because I feel the atmosphere in Evelyn Jones was even better than this one. Although I still absolutely love this atmosphere. I don't know. I don't mind. I love to read fall books all year long. Yeah, that's true. It worked for me. Could imagine some cooler climate. Yeah. I agree that the adult being involved was a good move from the other. Yeah. I also love the run through the forest, but I felt like they didn't get enough instructions as children. Yeah, I felt like they did not get enough instructions, indeed. Also, I feel like if it was this far of a round, in our school, there would have been points where there was an adult lookout somewhere around the route, right? But there was not. But I did love the spooky wood scene, absolutely. I'm hoping that Mr. Bolin is fleshed out a bit more in the next book, especially given his link to things without giving away spoilers. Yeah, I do hope we get more into his background. That would be great. So basically, you reuse and update the Haunted Mansion from any of the movies, really? Yeah. Yes. I haven't read Evelyn Jones. Yeah, that's... Yeah, I feel like especially both the first and the second one that were overall the best in atmosphere for me out of that trilogy. But yeah, I feel like the atmosphere in that one was even better. So I felt a bit wrong giving this 5 stars for atmosphere, because I've seen him done even better, but like, this was so good. I could not give it 5 stars. To me, this is the perfect book. I love it. I would read it again. I would, every book Mr. Phill Hickes brings out, I'm gonna buy. That's just the thing now. Also, I love Evelyn Moore. Yeah, I think there was something special about Evelyn. I have read the Phill Hickes book this weekend, law. So, and what do you think? Would you prefer the atmosphere of Evelyn or this one? It's very different. This is obviously set in a gothic castle mansion-ish thing. Evelyn Jones is not. It's more seaside town, little town vibes. I only read the first one. I want to read it and continue the series after read Shadow Hall Academy books. Yes, do it. I would agree. Agree. Evelyn Jones has creepier vibes. Yeah, right? But I think it's because this is mostly stuck in one place, whereas Evelyn has the whole town area. Yeah, that could be it. That could be it. Yes. Did give the first two Evelyn books 5 stars. Yes, nice. Yeah, me too. I think the third book I only gave 4 stars, but the other ones were 2. Having done a British cross country, it was just the right amount of instructions. All right, that's good to know. It's good to know that this is how they go. That is good to know. I love this. Yeah, I love the misty vibes and the twin thing, if that makes sense. Without spoiling it too much, but is Evelyn Jones the same level of middle grade as this one? Yes. Yes, it is. If anything, this feels a bit older than Evelyn Jones, but I think it's pretty much the same. I don't know, it's just that Border School feels immediately a bit older to me than anything else. But for me, the atmosphere would have been better if there was more of a description of the house. All right. Yeah, I can see that. I wouldn't have mind either. I missed that in this book. The book focused so much on the mystery and the 4 girls. Yeah, I can see where you're coming from. I get it. I personally agree. I would also not mind if there was more description of the house. But I'm not sure what the limit is, right? When it gets too flowery for people, because I hear a lot of complaints about my favorite books being too flowery. So I think I just like flowery books. But who did you like more, Evelyn Jones or Lillian Jones? Oh, Evelyn has my heart. Evelyn has my heart, but I love them both. And, I think that is a very great loophole to go to characters if we're all willing to, unless somebody still wants to say something about atmosphere. That's completely fine, obviously. But I loved that tidbit. I did not find out when I read it. But when we were discussing that on the Discord, because Stephanie came with it and figured out that this is actually Evelyn Jones is the aunt of Lillian Jones, or the great aunt. So this is one of her descendants, and it was so cute. I like those little connections. If there are connections like that in series that the same author brought out, if that makes sense. This sounded weird. I did like Lillian Jones, but it took a while for me to like her. Same as with the other. Like, Serena was fine. She obviously was meant to be not nice in the beginning, so I didn't mind that as much. I could see that she's not gonna be a mean girl. Lillian was the one I had a bit of problems with in the front. As well as Angela. Angela is also, I was a bit unsure about Angela at first too. But then Marion, instant love. As soon as we met Marion, I was like, I love you, girl. You got this. Can somebody remind me how Evelyn Jones and Lillian are related? Let me look it up. But it's the aunt, right? Yeah, Lillian is Evelyn's aunt. Yeah. I agree, Larissa. Yeah, I feel Larissa was completely true. I would not have mind more descriptions of the house. Evelyn, but I love that Lillian is Evelyn's aunt, so it's as more to it. Yes. Yeah. I like it when little, you have little things like this in different series from the same author that connects them all. Because this is obviously just in our world, so it's very doable to do that. Yeah, it's a fun thing to know that really. I love that bit so much. I knew because reading them at the same time. Oh, that's smart. I just didn't connect the dots. Nice, Ewald. You really got the full experience. Yeah, I think Ewald has the best weekend. I do like the girls, but also got really annoyed by Lillian at one point. Yeah. Serena was like, not nice for 2 seconds, and then they became friends. Yeah. It was immediately when I saw her, I was like, yeah, this is gonna happen once. I do think Lillian handled that situation very well. And that's why they got so easily befriended. Because, Serena obviously was just testing waters. And Lillian was like, yeah, absolutely not. And I feel like Serena respected that and was like, right. Good to know. So, yes, spill the salt. Judith, spill the salt. In the beginning, middle, and end ISO on the Matt's front. Yeah. We never really got the point of the seashells. They were mentioned in the beginning almost if they were something to do with the story, but maybe it was just to show how organized and structured Lillian is. I think that was the case. It was also a tiny bit obsessive. Like, that was her save point. And at some point, she didn't need the save point anymore because she had her friends. And I think that's why we didn't see more of the seashells, because it was her lucky charm, her save point, her, if I organize my shelves right, at least I have something from home. It was her way to ground herself. I think that's what the seashells meant. I really liked all 4 of the girls, but I think Maz is my fave. Maz? I love her. I love her so much. But immediately, it was... I don't know. What is the page that she met for the first time? This was where she put Serena in place. I don't know. I can recall that first moment on the stairs very well. And I love that how she introduced Serena as the High Queen of Shadowhall. Because she thinks she is. That's all she said, and I love it. Can't yet because of spoilers. Alright. But there is the Page of Soul. I'm fine. I wasn't sure about Angela as well, but she grows on you. Yeah. She did really grow on me. And I think that's really well written because she also had to grow on the girls. So I think that was done really well. I think that was very intentional. But still, with most characters of Evelyn Jones, I had an instant reaction, so I like these characters a bit less. Can't say why because spoilers. Yeah, sorry. This is where her lucky charm thing, I believe. Yeah, she did mention that. And that's why Serena was not allowed to steal some. Yeah. I like how Lily stood up herself. Yeah, immediately. And I love the blob. I love the blob. And I love that she and Mess were behind it. She was like, can you really do it? And she was like, no, I've never done it before. I've read about it, but I haven't done it. She was like, great job. I liked that bit. And it was immediately, I think that moment alone was so important to three of those girls. Because Mess had immediate respect for her doing that, but Serena had too. So I also liked it that, Elena. Yeah, the standing up for yourself, yeah. Marianne was the best. Loved her comments on Mr. Buller. Is this a yeah. The vampire comments were so funny. But the cat comics comments I love. She is so sassy and sarcastic, and I just love sassy and sarcastic characters. So Mass was always gonna be my favorite. I love Mass, but I would have been in the same scenario as these girls. I would have been the Angela of the group, no questions about it. I would probably be the Lillian. If somebody would try to push me like that with Serena, I would be the one to bluff and stand up for myself. And I would be then very nervous about if she's gonna try again like Lillian did. I'm feeling out how I'm now in the group because I did have a big mouth. So I think I would be the Lillian. Still a bit scared, getting away with the ghosting, but then trying to be, light-minded. Think about the now. But yeah, I would probably get away with it a bit too, so. But I also miss more info about Lillian's mother. Like, why didn't she come drop Lillian off at school? Yeah. I think we could have gotten more background of all the characters. But it's also a 200-page middle grade. I don't know. I feel like in middle grade we get the background if it is multiple book series, and otherwise it's more limited. And I'm not sure if Lillian's mom was important to the story. So that's probably why we didn't see her background. But yeah, I think a lot of characters would benefit from having a bit more background. That is true. I also love her comments about Mr. Buller. It's yeah. And it's such a teen thing to do, right? I love that. Mary also, yeah, she's those. Yes, Barbara. I was wondering about that too. The mother is mentioned, but we don't see her bring her daughter to Shadow Hall Academy. Yeah. I think there is a story there, definitely, but I'm not sure if we're gonna get it. Maybe in the second book, but I'm not sure. Other than our four leads, only Mr. Bullen called Mary the headmistress and the librarian. And spoiler, our only characters really, yeah. I expect Mr. Bullen to get his background story in the second book. I feel like that's where we're going to, and that's gonna be important. I love that Mess was like, I'm a god, we like spooky dark things. She used that excuse for any macabre thing she loved, or she said, or she did. And she was like, yeah, that's how it works. Yeah. I did think one of my teachers was a werewolf for a few years when I was gay. So I could relate to that, and it was so funny. It started as a funny thing, but then I thought, what if he really is one? Yeah, that's the thing, right? We all have that one teacher that we find a bit weird, and then, stories goes around. I would be the Mr. Bullen, alone in my little room in the basement. It was a good room to be in. I would love to have Mr. Bullen's room. Thank you. That would be great. Without, spoilers, but I would want that room. I miss depth in the 4 girls characters. Yeah, I can see that. We still know very little of them, so I hope we get to know them better in the next one. Yeah, I hope so. I agree with that. Don't need much info about secondary characters, but then have the mother come. Otherwise, I was thinking she was important to the story and it was shady she didn't come. Yeah. I have a feeling she's dead, but I'm not sure. And I think that's why she didn't came, but I'm not sure. It made me laugh that Serena called Mess Spooky. I was going in secondary school and my best friend called me Spooky. Oh, I love that. Yeah, I think that was a great nickname. I agree that the Mr. Bellin vampire thing was played so well because you're like, no, it can't be. But there was just enough doubt to keep you guessing. Yeah. And that's, I feel like that is how teenage girls are. They will get to your head because they will keep talking about it and they will keep finding these little things that could prove it to make their stories a bit more scarier. But then you talk about it so much and it gets in your head. And I think that is a real thing that happens a lot. Yes, I would love to have that room and drink my tea at the fireplace too. Yes, please. I was thinking she was dead as well, but Lily said she helped her back. Oh, yeah, that is true. That is true. She said that her mom insisted to help pack and she denied it, right? I don't know. I have no clue. She's not that. In the phone call at the end, she's talking to Lillian's sister. That is also true, yes. Yeah. Yes, the sister does mention the mom too. Yeah. Yeah, that was a smart one. I forgot about it. Alright, so she's not that. I don't know then. That was my only expectation. So it's just weird she didn't come drop her. Yeah, it's a bit weird. Yeah. But I don't know if we're gonna find out, but I'm sure I don't think so. The mom's like, oh, sorry, I bumped you. You're at foot length. Let's just say she had a work thing. I think that's it, but then we get in a whole discussion. Is that valid if you don't see your daughter for months? But then you could have said goodbye to the day before. I just assumed the mom was working that day. Yeah, could be, but I feel like if I was a mom, I would want to bring my daughter, especially when you don't see her for months after. Yeah, she needed to work. Yeah, I think that's it. I wonder if there are any clues in Evelyn Jones. I remember Susan and Lillian do talk a little bit about their childhood in one of the books. That would be interesting, though. That would be interesting. Do I need to reread them now? Kate, what do you make me do? Yeah, I assumed that too, but it wouldn't hurt to add one sentence. No, I don't think that would have hurt. That would have saved us a lot of time discussing what the heck the mom did, but true. So when are we reading? Yeah. Maybe in that same book club weekend. Kate has started now. Kate has no. She started. And the mom inspired Lillian to go to boarding school. She went herself and thought Lillian would like it too. Something like that. Alright. Yeah, so the mom is a big mystery, but I don't think we're gonna find out that mystery. I don't think so. Because the other book is not that big too. And we need Mr. Ballin's background, I feel. Yeah, this book is 169 pages. So I might also be that the mom had a different feeling as she loved her school so much and why she sent Lane into shadow. Yeah, I don't yeah, could be evil. I don't know. How about plot? Did you guys find any plot holes? I was so into this, I just swallowed it all. I I really enjoyed the mystery. And then I enjoyed that, Mr. Billen we were already talking about, but he had sort of a secret. And he still has secrets now that are not revealed that I'm personally curious about. Oh, the scene with the painting. How traumatizing that was for the girls. Jeez. Yeah, but he did that. I do like that Mr. Billa had a future insight about, yeah. I did find one thing weird, but it's a spoiler. Alright, we'll talk about it later though. Yeah. But overall, I did like the mystery. I really liked that there was this ghost story going around and that it was intertwined and that the girls had to find out, what was actually true of that. And then it had all these creepy twos. It was built in the mansion, but it was also in the mystery, and we had the twin thing. And I really enjoyed that and how it was built up in the atmosphere. I think the atmosphere around the mystery was really good. Any mystery that leads me into a crypt, I will probably like. Oh, technically it was a mausoleum. Alright. I think you guys get my point. Anyway. And I love that there was an adult involved in this mystery. I did like those tiny clues. Yeah, I do love the tiny clues like that. And I don't think it was anything extremely spectacular, and I could not have guessed any bit of it. But it wasn't. It also wasn't that. It was not clear in the first chapter, at least. So I don't think it was too predictable to not like it. And it went farther than I am expecting any middle grade author to go. Although I should have known better after reading Evelyn Jones. But I do think he stepped up with this one. The family mausoleum was amazing. The mausoleum, anything related to the mausoleum is probably my favorite scene. Oh, we should also keep in mind that it's a middle. Yeah, that's exactly like it's a middle grade, right? So it doesn't have to be extremely spectacular and not guessable at all. But I still get annoyed in a middle grade if it is already all laid out in chapter 1, and I don't feel like it was that either. It was still something to read for, and I still wanted to know. So I think plot-wise he did pretty good. I liked his plot better than the characters, but the atmosphere is my favorite point. That is my favorite part of this book, and of all his books. I did get annoyed because of that. I got really, really predictable at one point. Yeah. I'm not denying. So, how about we land into spoilers? I don't think there are currently any people that haven't read it yet, but if you're watching this back, this is where you need to sign off if you haven't read the book yet and you still want to, because we are now heading into spoiler territory. I will put the spoiler thing on. Please, this is your last reminder. This is spoiler territory. If you have not read the book and you would like to read the book without spoilers, thank you so much for being here. I will see you in the next one. Or come back when you finish the book. That's all fine too. Judith, give me the salt. Although I want to say, the secret entrance from a book, from a bookcase, nonetheless, and the secret hallways ending in a mausoleum, that was brilliant. I love it so much. And then all the stuff Mr. Bullen got from that old mansion and saved, particular the very creepy painting. How can you show that to kids? That's extremely creepy. But also, I want to see the painting. It was so creepy. Those are some of my favorite scenes. In those hallways when they had to flee for the ghost. My favorite scene is when the girls are, for the first time, going to the island, watching the mausoleum, trying to open it, and then the doorknob opens itself. And they're all freaked out, as you should be. That was my favorite scene. And then Mr. Bullen being there with them to save them is so sauce. So all the vampire stories go up again, and I like them. So only spoilers related to this book. Yes, please, only spoilers to this book. Especially since a lot of people now want to read Evelyn Jones, or maybe read Evelyn Jones for the first time. Only spoilers for this book. No spoilers for any of the Evelyn Jones books. Or the second book if you read it. I got so annoyed because Lillian was supposed to be a smart girl and she didn't see some very obvious things. Yes, that I was feeling you might be in that, and I get it. Yeah, I was a tiny bit annoyed at that too. I was like, "You're not smart, girl. If you're not seeing this, you're not smart." But fine, I'll forgive you because you're a child. That's how I went with them. I was just sucked in because of the atmosphere. I didn't care about anything else anymore. I like how Mr. B was related to the school. Yes. To the school, but also through the family and the girl that died. The twins that died. So I would love to get more of Mr. B's background. I think she already saw just before that she didn't get and was surprised. But yeah. Yeah. It did. It had this low point in the book, definitely. And then it got better. I do feel, I can absolutely see it. It's just, I was so in the book with the atmosphere, I didn't care if the kids were stupid. Like, it's not smart to decide to go on a boat in the middle of the night to an island that only holds a mausoleum. And it was not smart to let one of the girls fall in water. And then not doing anything. But I get it, because they're kids. So I get it. But yeah, I was not really bothered. For a tiny bit I was. But it was over soon for me. I could all put it away with, yeah, kids gonna be kids. They make super stupid mistakes sometimes. Yeah. I feel like going to the library was one of those stupid mistakes. You all decided to not walk alone. You all decided to go 2 by 2, And then she decides to go to the library alone, which she knew there was a big chance a ghost was there. And for that reason, she went alone. I was like, that is the exact reason why you guys promised to go together. So, yeah. I like the ghost twins though. And I like that it wasn't very clear which sister was the not so friendly one and which one was. I think that was really, I don't know. I like the whole aspect of creepy old family portraits where something is happening in and you have to figure that out. I don't know if that is a trope or a thing, but I like it. I guess I'm not smart either. No, it was. I think you would have seen it, but same as me, it was like, yeah, it's fine. It's kids. It's not. Which things was you supposed to see? And the atmosphere is the best, and all else I was really fun to read. So yeah, no, I get it. Technically, what I wanted to say wouldn't spoil Evelyn Jones. It was something that was mentioned the first book in the first couple of chapters. Yeah, I think then it's fine, Ewald. I thought it was weird. The first idea as to how to find out what happened to Isabella was to go to the island instead of looking into books about school. Yeah. But then again, I can see the appeal of the mystery around the mausoleum and not being allowed there. But yeah, one of the things was like they planned to go there, but they didn't plan to, they didn't think about the door might be locked because, you're not allowed there. How are we doing that? Yes. That was not the smartest thing. And she even mentioned it was maybe better not to go inside if there was no one there as well. Yeah. Just don't go. Don't get how the kids weren't shitting themselves, even calling mom to come pick them up. Yeah. I think that is the most fair question. Especially after the first night. But they loved how the girls were all together and helping each other get through. And I think that was really, that's why I started loving all those girls, because they were so nice together. That would make too much sense. Why would you do something that makes sense, right? I did find it interesting that Isabel went from Angela, who was only really sad before making friends, and then charged with her. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I think the targeting of the ghost was very interesting too. Yeah. I did love the ghost bit at the library, so we do need those stupid mistakes. Yeah, that's why I'm like, alright, it's fine, they're kids. Because I know if they do stupid stuff, I get great scenes out of it. So I don't mind as much. I would have gone to the library as well as a kid because I wouldn't want to find out. Yeah, but I would have been too scared as a kid, to be fair. I would have gotten a friend and then find out. That one I forgave her, yeah. Tell me the ones you don't forgave her. One plot hole for me is, why did Lillian see Angela in the library when Isabella was after Marion? Wouldn't she look like Marion all along? Yeah, I was wondering about that too. But I told myself, and I'm not sure if this is true, but the ghost, I feel like the ghost was listening to the girls, right? So she probably know that they were thinking she was after Angela, and she just apparently wanted to scare the shit out of them, because why would you appear otherwise there? So, and I think she didn't want to give away that it was Marion she was going for, and that's why she appeared like Angela, because she had done it before, so she could still do it. Again, not sure if that is in any case true, but that's what I told myself. Because I thought it was funny that Mr. Bullen predicted what Lillian would do for work. Yeah. I would want to find out and not call my mom because she might pick me up from there. Yeah, but on the other hand, I might want it to be picked up there. Kids died there. Just like, The library scene. Oh, it was good one, right? I did like it. The first bit where she just didn't get it was a ghost and not a living girl. She even saw the painting just before that part. Oh yeah, but I get why she didn't get it, because you also don't want to believe there's ghosts. She was very, I am scientific. There is no scientific proof for ghosts. Ghosts don't exist. So I can definitely see why she would not immediately go, "Oh, that's a ghost." Even when she just saw her in a painting, because minds play funny tricks on you, right? And she, at that point, she absolutely did not want to believe in ghosts. So I get why she didn't see her there. After the first night, I would be calling home crying, and I definitely would not be looking in the hatch and behind the wall. Yeah, but it was so funny that for some reason they were all convinced to go inside the wall and nobody would see it. Obviously, Serena had a, problem solving answer for how they could not find out. And then head in there, they get caught. And they're all like, yeah, we did that. And it was so funny to me. It was also like, she was like, oh yeah, Jesus can cover it up for us. It's all fine. And then, they got caught red handed. And it was so funny to me. And then they had to come up with an excuse immediately, which they obviously did. But it was such a funny moment. And the headmistress was like, yeah, I'm not dealing with this tonight. I'll see you all tomorrow. I'm not doing it. I get that, because it wasn't the same person. Yeah, they were slightly different, but also she really did not want to believe in ghosts. I can see why she did not. That was not my icky point. It were in the little things. Like going to the library alone. But then again, I got scared when the heating started making funny noises and woke me up in the middle of the night. Oh yeah, I would not be that scared. I would help you through it, Elena. The girls were so nice though to Angela when she was scared. I think that is the whole reason why Angela did not call her parents. Same, yeah. Get it. She saw the painting right after the forest race. Yeah. Yeah. And I get that you did not immediately. I don't know. She really did not want to believe in ghosts. Plus, it was her sister. So they were obviously a bit different. They're still twins, right? So they look alike, but yeah, the painting was after the forest bit. I thought Lillian said that she's seen a girl in a painting in the forest. No, she said it not when Mr. Bullen was there, but like 1 or 2 days later to the girls. But I don't think she said it immediately, did she? Yeah, it's page 129 when she tells Marion about it. Um. Oh no, all the girls were there, I think. Lillian says, I think we need to find her grave. And there we have it, Serena said with a grimace. At least Marion will enjoy it. Graveyards are your specialist subject, aren't they, spooky? I would be interested. You are indeed correct. And then they ask why, and she's like, I want to find out more about Isabel and how she died. Lillian added, there's something else I haven't told you. I can't get it out of my mind. The girl in the woods, I swear it was the same girl in the painting. Red hair, blue dress, big dark eyes. She was little way off, but when I saw that painting, I swear. So, she did tell her friends, but a bit later. And the painting was after the forest. Yeah, they made the deal like nobody goes anywhere alone, and they're Lillian alone. Yeah, like 5 seconds later, right? That was one of the stupid mistakes I did. Was like, yeah, Lillian, this is not a smart girl move. I'm a bit used to knocking sound at night. I just go hi, Grandpa, and I don't really care. Yeah, I don't care about knocking too much, but I would have let the stories of all the kids dying, that would have gone to my head. She also saw the girl behind the wall, so she did think ghosts could be real already. That's why it got annoying for me. Yeah, but she was also still making excuses about the girl on the wall. And the painting was seen after the woods. And then they did get in action. That the painting is the whole reason she finally started believing in ghosts. But I did like that the ghost story was true. But that ghost was actually trying to help them. And he was so the last scene with the ghost on the bed. That was so precious. I love that scene. It was so cute. That was so cute. And the ghost led them to marry him. I loved the ghost. Marry the ghost. He was so cute. I would not mind to see more of Mary. Yes, I did love that she helped. Yeah, Mary was so cute. And now Cold Mary is part of the gang. Yeah. Yeah, that was such a cute moment. The last scene with the ghost. Oh, yeah, that was so cute. I love that they had a biscuit party after traumatic event. That also, yes. Let's get biscuit and tea, people. I was like, yeah, I feel you girls. This is such a mature way of handling it. That's good. Yeah. For me, I just love this. This is my vibe. This is and I love the part that they were trying to sneak out and then they knocked on all the girls' door just to freak them out. So they would stay in. I need a can of biscuits. That yes. So we need a book club challenge weekend to read all Evelyn Jones as well as the second book, The Ghost Story Society, with tea and a tin of biscuits. That's what we need to do. I love the part being a Brit, everything calls for tea and biscuits. Yeah, not being a Brit, I even love that. And I was like, yes, I don't know how true this is, but I love this stereotypical thing we think of Brits, and I love it. Don't call Mary at the end. Yeah. No, I think she left. But before that, she joined the gang, and then I think she left. And I also love that the teacher helped them with an excuse of why Marianne was on the roof, and they made it all. No, it was a sleepwalking accident. I can't find it, but I think she left. Yeah. You know what would help? Chocolate, definitely. Yes, chocolate would help. Look at me not getting middle grade books. Oh, it's completely fine. I honestly think middle grade books are more in um have more intrigue and more little details than people give them credit for. This is why I think, they're still fun to read as an adult. I thought the same thing, Barbara. Crowdmore left. Yeah, no, I'm pretty sure, but it was they were having their tea and biscuits, right, and going through it, and they called her, or she appeared on the bed. I'm not sure anymore. And they waved, and they were all saying thank you to her, and then they were inviting her to the club, and they were talking about the mystery, and they kind of solved it, and then she disappeared after they all say thank you to her, and she was in the club. So I think you're completely correct, and you got this, Barbara. You understood it just fine. She did leave, yeah. It was such a bittersweet moment. Yeah, I wanted to have Mary in the next book, but oh well, I just wished, Tea with biscuits with a book. Yeah, that's what we need. We need the weekend of tea, biscuits, and books. It's one of the only stereotypes that's true. All right, good. I like it though. Yeah, exactly. That's how I understood it. Like, she helped to stop the hunting, so now she can rest. Yes, that's what I understood too. But they were so grateful and so thankful to her, and they were all saying goodbye, and it was such a cozy moment. Cozy with ghosts, see? So, are we just gonna do biscuits, or also the pillows and blankets fort they made to sleep together? I currently can do the blanket fort. My nerve would not allow me. But if you can, yes, please do so. Everything is better with a blanket fort and biscuits. Also, fireplace with ambience, yes. Or other Gothic buildings, yeah. Gothic buildings, ghost. Those are doing it for me. But then, can we talk about the moment the twins intertwine with each other? That was kind of a bodily gore kind of moment, right? Would that count as body horror? Because I was like, this sounds disgusting, Mr. Hikes. I'm not sure if this is appropriate for little children. This I did not expect him to go that far, but he did. He did. So I would like to know your thoughts about it. Tea, biscuits, and books has literally been my weekend. Well, then you had a great weekend. That sounds amazing. That sounds amazing. So the big question is, lovely people of the internet, lovely people of the Prince of Mischief bookclub, see how nice it can be when I want something. So we were supposed to read this in July. I, for one, personally, do not feel like waiting for July. So, would you be willing to read it with me in June? And I want you to be honest. If there's, for some reason, you're not able to read it in June, or you're not able to pay for the book in June, or whatever, just let me know. I want the whole gang to be complete, to be able to do it. So I'm gonna make a poll, so it's anonymous. You don't have to answer me, where everybody sees your name. But I would just want to ask. If you are willing to read it sooner with me. Because then I'm hosting camp in July, so we still have a group book then if you want to. I'm good, Jess. I did love that part with the twins together, right? But it was gruesome, right? It felt like that to me. That felt like a bit like body horror. I was like, Mr. Hikes. I might be a bit used to body gore because of Korean horror movies. Yeah, maybe. Yeah, I have heard. I can't watch them, but I've heard that could be the case. The moment Isabel transformed in front of Lillian would count more. Which means do you exactly mean? Where she took off the Marion look and she was gonna be Isabel, because that was also a gory moment, but I loved it. But if I found that less creepy than the mixing together and the way that was described. It was also spooky. I loved it. Yeah. Everyone says I can read on June the 12th. All right. Yeah, we can definitely make it the end of June. Like, that's usually what we do. I just got there but didn't finish the book. We are in spoilers, Stephanie. I want to warn you that we are talking spoilers right now. We are also currently voting if you would like the next book. The second Shadow Hall Academy book is originally, if we're keeping to schedule, for July. However, I want to read it now. I don't want to wait. So I was asking you guys if you are willing to read it with me in June, and if you're able to. If you're not able to, then we'll just keep it in July like the schedule said. But in July, we also have Come Enchanted, so there will be a group book for that. So we can still read together and have a live show then. So I was wondering if you all wanted to read this with me in June. And we're also thinking about making it book club challenges weekend from to make a cozy weekend where we read Evelyn Jones' book, where we read the second book together. Like you all have been doing this weekend, but I felt FOMO, so I wanted that too. And then we could also have a tin of biscuits. Because we feel like we probably need that in the second book too. But that is the book poll for. That is what the book poll is for. If you would like to read it in June or not. And you can tell me honestly, just do it in a poll so, nobody has to know it comes from you. Or, anyone else. But I said that if you're not able to read it in June, or you're not able to afford the book in June, that's absolutely fine. If somebody votes no, we're keeping to the schedule and we're not doing it in June. I want the whole gang to be able to read the second book together and do the live show again. That's why I did the poll. So if somebody is not able to, but doesn't want the one to say, yeah, no, we're not doing it, they can do it anonymously. And you can just fill out the poll. And then we'll just stick to the schedule. She's changed into Lily in the town. Oh, yeah. Yeah, she did that. 100%. Can we start tomorrow? Joking. Maybe next weekend. No. Ewald needs to wait until the 12th of June. So, maybe that weekend. You don't have a book for June, right? No, there is no book. No, there is no other book for June. We skipped every month because I was intending to do another club. But it has been hard for me to do that. So I'm still trying to do it in fall. I hope I can launch it. So for now, we would be fine. Then we just have this book for June, and we have the group book of Come Enchanted in July, and then in August there will be group book for Nevermorton, probably something like that. I moved back after. Yeah, I just wanted to warn you because we were talking about creepy stuff in the end. So you might want to come back later as we're in spoilers. I'm not paying much attention. Oh, great, you're right. I thought it June. Nice. Now muting back. Yeah. Completely unrelated, but I just crammed my dinner and it was amazing, and now I'm lying on the floor in the living room with a happy tummy. That's the best feeling. Unless you're over 8. Then it's getting worse in a second. But what did you eat? Now I need that recipe. that you guys should know how I have a good. I love to know stuff like that. Thank you. No, I can't next weekend. I'll be on a date. Oh, how nice, Judith. I hope you have a lot of fun then. Reading the last 113 to 128 pages. Nice. Yeah, you go. I'll let you know. In the Discord if the pool changes. Maybe that's why I'm in a great mood. I just saw him yesterday when we watched Murderball in Jurassic World together. Aw, that's good. That's good. Yeah, that's. I love that. Have fun, Judith. Have fun. No, it will probably be one of the later weekends in June. I don't know. You right? I have to talk to Barbara about it. But it's probably gonna be. I don't know. It could be the 20th, the 21st, and 22nd. Could be the 27th, the 28th, 29th. I would even be okay if it was. I don't know. I'd rather don't have the 3rd of June. Oh, I'm reading the wrong. No, that's the choices. I think it's gonna be one of those two. The other one is July. No, research just random. Oh, yeah, that was the omelette thing. Damn it, Elena. Now I can't do it. Now I can't make it. What was in it? What did you find in your fridge? Thank you. No. You worked for it. You have made it happen. So you should thank you. Or him. Maybe a bit. Is there anything else we would like to discuss? Or would we like to have some Discord sprints? Happy the omelette was tasty. Yeah, I love good food. Can make my whole day great if the food is good. Because if we're done talking about it, we could do some Discord sprints for the reading challenge. We can see if we get some more hours in. I need to get some more hours in. I could host some on this Barbara's Discord. Yes, to Discord sprint. Discord sprint. Wow. I'll wait a second, in case I miss a comment that people still wanted to talk about it. I want to read some more after I've put Nick to bed. Yeah. I have to get some reading in still. With tea and biscuits. So, how about you all get your tea and biscuits out? And then we're going to Discord. And we're gonna have sprints there. I'll join sprints in a bit. Good. I shared my pinch of salt and also love bits. Yeah, you did well. Don't worry about the salt though. Don't worry about it. It's just funny because I only heard great things. So I find it extremely funny when somebody comes with salt then. That's my humor, I'm sorry. Be no mystery, they need to. I hope so. I hope so. In this book though, there is a chapter to the first chapter of the second book. Right? Yeah. It's a sneak peek. I have read the sneak peek. And I love the 2 pages that we got to read already. That's also why I wanted to continue, because I was like, yes, I want to be part of the Ghost Story Society. I'm good with this sprint, but I think I'm just going to craft and that's absolutely fine. I'm also going to craft, but listen to an audiobook then. This was such a fun live. Thank you. I'm very happy to be live on YouTube with you all again. So we might do YouTube sprints soon again, but for now, for this weekend, I would like to finish it in the Discord because the whole challenge weekend has been in Discord, so I think that's just more fun. We will go to Barbara's Discord, just so it's clear for everybody. I will put the closure thing on now, and I will see you all there. Thank you so much for watching, for being here, for reading this book with me, and I will see you in the next one. Bye, nerds!